Dr. Justin D. Derner is being honored with the W.R. Chapline Research Award at the 2022 annual meeting of the Society for Range Management held in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is the highest honor bestowed to a research scientist by the Society. Among Dr. Derner's greatest research accomplishments is the design and implementation of the Collaborative Adaptive Rangeland Management Project that addresses multiple management objectives in collaboration with diverse regional stakeholders. This accomplishment is founded on the recognition that scientific evidence in the absence of relevant stakeholder engagement is often insufficient to produce effective solutions to rangeland management challenges. A fifth-generation ranch kid, Justin was born to Dennis and Sharon Derner and raised on the McNurry Ranch in the northeastern part of the Nebraska Sandhills. The ranch, homesteaded in 1878, had expanded to over 6,000 acres through opportunistic land additions in the Great Depression. Beaver Creek ran through the valley with abundant sub-irrigated meadows and tall-grass native prairie. Located over the top of the Ogallala Aquifer, iconic windmills dotted the landscape. In February 1978, 100 years post-homestead settlement, all heck broke loose on the ranch. Justin was 9 at the time his grandfather Irwin, Pete McNurry, died from lung cancer. Justin was on the front lines of watching strong ranch women stand up for themselves in a male-dominated industry. The Derner Ranch was built by sweat equity of his parents, Justin and his 2 younger brothers, Levi and Seth. Numerous windbreaks were planted for conservation and cattle protection, and times were tough. Money was woefully short, but labor was abundant. A registered and commercial herd was built, and another ranch located to the west was leased. Long days of putting up hay, taking care of cattle, helping neighbors, and active involvement in 4-H and FFA, including being the Nebraska State Range Judging as well as State Livestock Judging top individual, took care of Justin's teenage years. An opportunity presented itself at the beginning of Justin's senior year to purchase the leased ranch. $95 per acre for the 6,000-acre plus place, but interest was 18 to 20% and no banker was going to sign off on a loan. The ranch was sold to an outside entity, and Justin went off to college at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Justin's college career path started out with a focus to obtain a Bachelor of Science in Range Management and Agronomy and then work for the NRCS. Mentorship by Steve Waller, Lowell Mosier, and Jim Stubendeck altered his plans quickly. They provided research work for him undergraduate students Rob Mitchell, Darren Redfearn, and Joel Brummer, as well as the opportunity to learn hieroglyphics from Chuck Butterfield in the herbarium. Justin was bit by the research bug and did an internship his final year on a ranch in the Flint Hills of Kansas. He headed south to Oklahoma State for a master's on tiller defoliation patterns under grazing systems with Robert Gillen, David Engel, and Ted McCollum, along with a great technician, Ken Tate. Needing more Southern experience, Justin proceeded to Texas A&M to work on his Ph.D. on Little Blue Stem with David Brisk, Steve Archer, and Tom Boughton. There he was part of a cohort of graduate students including John Hendrickson, Sam Fullendorf, and Tom Monaco. Following a 1-year postdoctorate at Texas A&M, Justin began his USDA Agricultural Research Service career in 1998 at Temple, Texas, with Wayne Pauley and Hiram Johnson in Global Change and Rangelands. He moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming in the spring of 2002 to replace Dr. Dick Hart, where his work centered on grazing strategies in the semi-arid rangelands of the western Great Plains. Throughout his research career, Justin has adhered to sage advice offered by one of his mentors. Always work with persons better than you so you can learn, gain skills, and push yourself. A sincere thanks and gratitude are offered to all who endured collaborations with Justin over the many years, and your contributions to numerous research accomplishments are truly treasured. Mentors also provided advice to Justin to 1. Always be on the lookout for opportunities for collaborations, and 2. Have fun. He has used this advice in his current role as research leader for the Rangeland Resources and Systems Research Unit. Justin struck gold with his marriage to Tansy Teagan, who had grown up on a ranch in far southeastern Montana. Justin adopted Tansy's 2 daughters, Rachel and Rebecca, and they were joined by 2 new additions, Teagan, a 2012 model, and Sage, a 2014 model. These two have altered Justin's activities markedly. Travels to great destinations and contributions to research ideas have been highlights that Teagan and Sage have added to diversify Justin's career. Apologies to those who may have received a rough review on a paper from Justin. There may have been some differing viewpoints expressed by a ghost reviewer, from the view riding a horse on the prairie with the kids to majestic mountains. Teagan and Sage sure know how to keep him busy. Impactful and useful research centers on asking the key question for each and every experiment: so what and who cares? Prior struggles with transferring and translating research findings to the customers and society frustrated Justin. The loading dock mentality of producing great science and hoping someone finds it, understands it, and distributes it such that customers and producers would use it needed a transformation. Understanding that generating more biophysical knowledge was not the answer, the light bulb moment came with the idea to focus on socio-ecological systems research with explicit, in all phases of the research, integration with stakeholders. The collaborative adaptive rangeland management experiment emerged, and due credit to its amazing success is to the dedicated stakeholders, science contributions from David Brisk, Maria Fernandez-Jimenez, Haley Wilmer, Lauren Perensky, John Ritten, Ken Tate, Leslie Roche, David Hoover, Nicole Chapline, David Smith, Edward Rayner, and Danelle Peck, and so many valuable field and technical efforts from highly skilled technicians and student workers. In his own words, Justin says, "To the ranchers, researchers, professionals, tour groups, friends, foes, and so many others that have shared your experiences with me on rangelands, thank you. Your questions, criticism, encouragement, advice, thought-provoking ideas, and support are the reasons I continue to strive to provide solutions to customer problems." The Society for Range Management is honored to present the 2022 W.R. Chapline Research Award to Dr. Justin Derner.